Edo State House of Assembly don't suspend the chairman and vice chairman of the 18 local government areas for 2 months sake of alleged insubordination, gross misconduct and corruption, and say the heads of the legislative arms of the council go oversee the running of the council for the next 2 months. The decision happened after Edo State Governor Senator Monday Okpegolo request say make them look into the matter to dissolve the council leaders, but the assembly choose to suspend them instead, make them for chook eye and torchlight the allegations well before them conclude. The suspension get to do with the council leaders refusing to submit their statement of accounts within 48 hours as the governor ordered them. The governor, through in Deputy Right Honorable Dennis Idahosa, gave the directive on Tuesday, December 12, 2024.
Petition of gross misconduct and insubordination against leadership of 18 local government council. I wish to thank Mr. Speaker and honorable members of this House for the solidarity, cooperation and sense of commitment to serve the people of Edo State. I also appreciate all the support and prayers for the smooth running of government and for fostering the needed synergy between these two political arms of government. It is pertinent to remind us that as representatives of the people, Edo are watching our every step and will hold us accountable for the mandate they have freely given us. We are therefore constrained to note disappointment, insubordination and flagrant disregard of chairmen of the local government council for the government and people of Edo State. Despite being requested to punish the state government with their financial statements within 48 hours, they have willfully refused to do so 2 weeks after the expiration of the deadline. Therefore, pursuant to the provisions of Section 10, Sub 1 of the Local Government Law 2000, hereby refer to this honorable House this act of gross misconduct by the chairman of the local government council of Edo State, as well as their refusal to be held accountable during the body. It is our hope that the House, being the truest representative of Edo, consider this matter objectively and deal with it in this most appropriate manner. Thank you, and I accept the assurances of my utmost regard. Sir, Mr. Monday Okpegolo, Executive Governor of Edo State.
Petition gross misconduct and insubordination against the leadership of the local government council. This will call for debates. If you are speaking for, please you speak first. If you are speaking to support this please you speak first. This is a very, very delicate matter for us here, and we will allow everybody to talk. And once you are talking on one day, that's it. That will give me the attendance of those that speak for and those that speak against. From there, we will make adjournments.
For the Assembly plenary, Honorable Imahu Isibo Ada come move motion to suspend the council leaders and Honorable Donald Okogwe come second them. But Honorable Associate Nicholas Friday come move a counter motion say the allegations not supposed they used against innocent people. A can talk say if na misconduct and corruption, not be everybody go they corrupted at the same time. The counter motion gets second from Honorable Frank Uyi Omosigo, where they represent Oredo East constituency. The session can continue as most of the 8 assembly members agree with the governor's call, with few members will not agree. But the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Maria Edeko, Majority Leader of the House, Honorable Charity Agwabaweya, and the Deputy Majority Leader, Honorable Irobosa Natasha Osawaru, get different opinions as them talk say the matter supposed go to the House Committee on Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs.
It remains Honorable Imahu Isibo Ade. I represent all the people of Esa Northeast 1 State Constituency. Mr. Speaker, Section 4, subsection 7 of the 5th alteration to the 1999 Constitution clearly empowers state houses of assembly, in this case, the Edo State House of Assembly, to make laws for the peace and good governance of any part of the state. Similarly, Mr. Speaker, Section 7, subsection 1 of the 1999 Constitution, 5th alteration. Mr. Speaker, the state government, through the instrumentality of the House of Assembly, is enjoined to guarantee local government administration in the state. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, it is very clear that this State House of Assembly has prima facie jurisdiction over any matter that has to do with local government administration in Edo State. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Governor, His Excellency, distinguished Senator Monday Okwel, has written to the 8th Assembly regarding the gross insubordination, gross misconduct, flagrant disrespect of constituted authority by the 18 local government chairmen in Edo State. Mr. Speaker, a lot of people erroneously and through a very misplaced perspective quote the Supreme Court of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in its recent judgment regarding financial autonomy of local government councils to be erroneously misinterpreted as the Supreme Court placing local government councils in a position in which they are not accountable to anybody, person or institution. There cannot be a more false interpretation of the Supreme Court judgment, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, by the combined provisions of Section 143, 144, 146 of the 1999 Constitution, His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and His Excellency, the Vice President, if found wanting, can be impeached by the National Assembly. Similarly, Mr. Speaker, by the combined provisions of Section 188 and 189 of the 1999 Constitution, the Governor of a state and his deputy, if found wanting, can equally be called to order by the state houses of assembly. How then can it be possible, Mr. Speaker, that local government chairmen can operate without any form of check, balance, or control? Mr. Speaker, Section 20B of the Local Government Law 2000 Edo State of Nigeria mandates, Mr. Governor, and I would like to, Mr. Speaker, with your kind permission, read that where the governor is satisfied that the chairman of a local government council is not discharging the functions of the council under the law in a manner conducive to the welfare of the inhabitants of the area of its authority as a whole, the governor may, in consultation with the House of Assembly, suspend the chairman for a period not exceeding 2 months. This is our law, Mr. Speaker. The Supreme Court of Nigeria, Mr. Speaker, made specific and clear pronouncements against the outright dissolution of local government councils. There is nowhere in the Supreme Court judgment, all 380-something pages of that judgment, where the Supreme Court kicked or frowned against disciplinary actions to be meted out to airy and reckless local government chairman. Mr. Speaker, just like in the state, the legislature is the very bastion of democracy. When the military rule, which was an aberration, was in place in Nigeria, Mr. Speaker, the reason why it was said not to be democratic is because there were no houses of parliament. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, the suspension of a local government chairman and his vice does not in any way imply a dissolution of a local government council, because the parliament of the local government council led by the leader of the house is still in place. And by the way, Mr. Speaker, when the chairman and vice chairman are suspended, what the law provides is that the leader of the house, the leader of parliament in the local government council, will step in acting capacity. Mr. Speaker, the local government chairmen of the 18 local government councils in Edo State are now holding themselves above the law and making themselves unaccountable to nobody. And that situation cannot exist, will not be allowed to exist, will not exist. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise this morning, I, Honorable Emaku Isibo Adam, I respectfully move this morning that this honorable house, the 8th Assembly of the Edo State House of Assembly, do hereby resolve today, and I urge and plead with my colleagues to align with the spirit of accountability to which we will hold the local government chairman. I hereby respectfully move that all 18 local government chairmen and vice chairmen in Edo State, that this house hereby resolves today, that they proceed on immediate suspension for 2 months in line with the provisions of section 20B of the Local Government Law 2000 Edo State of Nigeria. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity, and I so move.
Mr. Speaker, for purposes of emphasis, I am Honorable Donor of Kobe. I represent the very good people of Akoko constituency 2. The motion on ground which has been moved by my very erudite brother and friend, member representing Esan North 1. I rise to second the motion to the effect that the 18 local government chairmen and their vice chairman be suspended forthwith, and that the leaders of the legislative council should step in acting capacity and sustain democracy in those local governments. Mr. Speaker, let me add, for the purposes of history, that it is to ensure that man do not live in the state of nature where lawlessness prevails, that society was recalibrated along the lines of social order to ensure that there is government. People came together and gave themselves a leviathan But the Leviathan, which is the state, is also subject to the rule of law. This has become from the letter that has been read to us from the governor. We cannot afford a situation where a council will work in disharmony with the state government. If the letter has been written to them for their books to be looked into, it is not a death sentence. We are all subject to the law. Nobody is above the law. To that extent, Mr. Speaker, I second the motion, I support the intent, and I adopt all that has been said by the very erudite member representing Eastern Northeast 1, as if it was all deposited by me. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. God bless the state and the house.
Arise to move the counter motion against the suspension of the two government council chairman and vice chairman. Reason being that agreed in Nigeria Constitution section 4 gives the legislative power to pass. But at the same time, there is no way the two local government chairman and vice chairman can be corrupt at the same time. It's not possible. It is not possible. And we should not forget that in democracy we have 3 tiers of government. One, the executive, judiciary, and the legislative business. And another time there we also have arms of law. That's the arms of government, where you have federal, state, and local government. And in the Nigerian Constitution, they are duly and democratically elected individuals and chefs of government. One person cannot wake up from his competence to say ABC should be dissolved or be suspended when they have not been tried before the law. And it is only the House of Assembly that has right to look into such issues. To my best of my knowledge and the little I know about this legislative business, I don't think anybody has any power to begin to discipline government without approval or without our consent. Therefore, those who are democratically elected as the top tier of government should be left alone. They should be left alone. If there's anything, then we have to set up a constitution. That a local government chairman applies should be suspended.
Honorable colleagues, and the men, honorable member, chairman, last committee, local government and statutory affairs. Mr. Speaker, today we don't have the right to look into this matter. Reason being why, Mr. Speaker, there is a court injunction, one, that the House should not look into this matter, 1. 2, Mr. Speaker, there is a Supreme Court judgment effect to this issue. So, Mr. Speaker, I think today this matter should be stepped down because we have an court injunction. So, Mr. Speaker, that this 18 local government chairman, 192 councillors, that my brother from Eastern Northeast 1, that they should be suspended. Mr. Speaker, you are aware that 18 people cannot be corrupt at the same time. I haven't given the same punishment at the same time. So, Mr. Speaker, I urge this honorable house to, we are lawmakers. We should respect the rule of law. I will not be biased about it because the government has told the people that they do when you and go is rising. And we should also work, we decide as a house to work with the government to make sure that the new and go is rising. As of today, I don't think this is the direction. So, Mr. Speaker, I urge this house to step down this letter
by the grace of God. And I always make it a point of duty to go through my book to know how the proceeding of the parliament is supposed to be carried out. Mr. Speaker, we are all aware in this house that a counter motion cannot be given when a motion has been seconded. Mr. Speaker, it's not done anywhere. You raise a counter order when a motion is raised, not when it has already been raised and seconded. Mr. Speaker, I thank you for this opportunity you have given me to talk. As I said before, I represent all the people of this Southeast constituency. Mr. Speaker, if we are to go, by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Mr. Speaker, said if you go to section 7, subsection 6B of the 1999 Constitution 2023 as amended, Mr. Speaker, the Constitution says that the House of Assembly have the right to appropriate public funds to the local government. Mr. Speaker, I also believe if we have right to appropriate, we also have right to oversee and sanction when there are misuse or abuse of those public funds. Mr. Speaker, I want to, on behalf of my constituency, which is East and Southeast State constituency, second and agree with the first mover of this motion that the 18 local governments and their vice chairmen be suspended.
I present the biggest performance. Mr. Speaker, I rise to speak in favor of the motion given moved by brother from this Northeast one, to the effect that local government chairman and their vice be suspended immediately. Mr. Speaker, I listened to the submission of a brother from East to his son. And he said that 18 people cannot be corrupt at the same time. It is laughable for somebody to say that 18 people cannot be corrupt at the same time. Then why have they been running away from submitting their records? They have failed to submit their records. And more than 2 weeks ago, the executive governor of Edo State directed that they should submit their records. And these are not even records that they are supposed to sit down and put together. In the local governments, you have treasurers, you have HOS, who are supposed to put the record together and forward it to the Excellency. The fact that they have refused to submit this record shows that they have skeletons in their pockets. They have already indicted themselves from the beginning. And so these House and the normal House are not help people who are not ready to help themselves. The law permits, going by the Constitution, that this House has supervisory power over the councils, because we are to make laws, to direct them, to tell them what to do. And since the executive governor, by the letter that has been forwarded to this House this morning, has told us that these persons, they seem not to be accountable to the people of Edo State, they claim to be served. And the best thing for us to do at this time is for us to place them on suspension while we go into proper investigation into their activities. And of course, the member has already moved it to say that the council chairman and the advice
I'm Honorable Sobiari, representing all the people in Obia Southwest constituency. Mr. Speaker, I don't want to waste our time. Just to adopt the motion of suspension moved by my brother from EDHA Northeast 1 and seconded by my brother from Akoko 2. And to also add that after the suspension, the leader of the different local government should take charge, and apart from that, instruct the government to set up a committee in line with section 20, subsection 2 of our law. And that committee is supposed to look into the issue and recommend to the government. The government now submit the resolution to the House. That is how it is done. This is not a resolution. What we are saying is that if there is anything you are hiding, let us look at it. I think, gentlemen and our sisters here, I urge you to support it. Because it's a way of trying to prove that we are accountable to our people. Mr. Speaker, I should here for second or support this resolution. Thank you.
Distinguished members, I'm Right Honorable Mrs. Maria Omozele Yedeko, member representing the illustrious people of EDHA Northeast Constituency 2, and by special grace of God, the Deputy Speaker. I rise this morning to state clearly that my brother, the member representing Uredo East, stated that there was a court order restraining us from looking into this matter. And somebody added here that there have been a motion and somebody supporting that motion, and the counter one was not appropriate. I'm trying to ask here, does the motion raised supersede a court order? That's a question for this House to answer. I'm not trying to go into the substantive matter, because we need to determine whether the court order here and whatever we are doing here, which should take precedence. Thereafter, I will speak on the substantive issue. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I'm Honorable Jonathan Lama. I represent the entire people of EDHA West constituency. Mr. Speaker, it's shocking to hear the position being taken by some of our colleagues on why this suspension should not be done. Some say we don't have the powers to do it, and our respected Deputy Speaker is even saying there is a court injunction. So if we have a court injunction that we should not sit here anymore, I think this house cannot close and stay until they ask us to come back here. That is sad, and it is also funny to hear, Mr. Speaker, when my brother from Oaxaca and Redo is raising the issue of whether we have jurisdiction over this matter. We were in this house where, when ago, the councillors, they had issues with their chairman. It was brought to this house to ratify it. We thought then we had the powers to do it. We were in this house when even a council was suspended by their co-council from this session.
the matter came here, we had the powers then to do it. Why are we trying to up and down in our decision? Why are we not trying to say what we can do, we cannot do it? Mr. Speaker, if these chairmen and their vice, the leadership of the council have decided to say we now have 19 governors in this state. We don't have 19 governors. We have one governor and 18 chairmen. If we are not saying they are getting as being raised by Kubaka and Orel. To even look at if there is an issue, they cannot be sitting there when we are looking at the issue. They have to be suspended so that we're able to look at it and properly take a decision whether they are guilty or not. You cannot be sitting and you are being tried. Then we cannot get a good job. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I support my colleagues that are saying that this chairman and their vice should proceed on immediate suspension and allow the leaders of the respective council to administer the affairs of the council until when the report of the committee that will so settle is brought to this house. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I remember myself, O.J. Eugene Inegbe, Esquire. Mr. Speaker, I want to align myself with the submission of my brother from Ibaaka, with my brother from Oredo East, that, Mr. Speaker, as it stands now, we are lawmakers and not lawbreakers. Mr. Speaker, we are reliably informed and aware that there is a court injunction restraining the government of the state government from going or tampering with the local government as is currently constituted. Mr. Speaker, the letter before this house, we should not refrain from making it, Mr. Speaker. Yes, there's a letter from the governor before this honorable house. And Mr. Speaker, the president before this house, when any letter comes regarding local government, as my brother from Nation West stated, Eko and Nation Central, those letters, Mr. Speaker, were referred to the local government committee, House Stand Committee on Local Government. So, Mr. Speaker, I feel we should hurry slowly, Mr. Speaker, by doing the right thing, because posterity will judge all of us here today. Mr. Speaker, Section 7 of the 1999 Constitution, as amended, protects the local government councils. Mr. Speaker, democratically elected chairmen are protected. Mr. Speaker, what I'm saying now, you cannot hear from one side. Mr. Speaker, the government of the day has made an allegation against the local government chairman. Mr. Speaker, I feel it is only right that you give the local government chairman the benefit of the doubt and the right to defend themselves. Mr. Speaker, on my own, I am against the motion for suspension. I will suggest that Mr. Speaker constitute House Committee on Local Government cannot do the work. Mr. Speaker should constitute an ad hoc committee to add to the local government House Committee on Local Government to see into the allegations and invite this local government chairman to appear before him, so that we would have heard from the two sides, from the chairman and from the state governor, would have heard from both of them. That's my own submission, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, sir, very respected colleagues, my name is Charity Ighodala Aigobawerian. I represent the very sagacious people of Ovialu Tisman constituency. And by God's grace, the majority leader
of this noble house. Mr. Speaker, I must say it is a difficult position for me because by virtue of my office, I defend government and I liaise with government. And that also means that the government, in all actions concerning the house, passes its processes through me. The reason being that at that point, I'll be able to advise or contribute. It is quite unsettling to know that I got to know about this letter this morning, whereas it was supposed to have come through the majority leader. And if I were in the know, I would have advised that we don't take this route. We don't take this route because it is not in sync with the present position of the law. A position that is provided, a position that is pursued, a position that is at the foremost echelon of what the federal government is pursuing. That is local government autonomy. The Attorney General of Nigeria, Lateef Fagbemi, SN, took the matter of local government autonomy to the Supreme Court as a court of first jurisdiction, being a matter between the federal and other state government. This was done in the suit number SC-CV 343-2024 between the Attorney General of the Federation, the Attorney General of the federal government, APC government, against the Attorney General of Abia State and 35 others. And the decision of the Supreme Court in that matter, sir, was very clear. The decision was that, amongst others, that the local government councils are protected by virtue of Section 7 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And to that extent, by no guise will a governor or any house of assembly, through their own law, that is the local government law that we are referring to now, by any means distort or dissolve local government councils in Nigeria, including Edo State. That is the law as at today, a Supreme Court decision taken by 7 justices of the Supreme Court, unlike the usual 5 justices that sit over ordinary matters. Being a constitutional matter, sir, Mr. Speaker, it was decided by 7 judges. And in that decision, the point was made clear, and which point I would have made very clear to Mr. Governor, that today, this is what the Supreme Court says. Mr. Speaker, the decision of the Supreme Court is binding on every authority, every person, every human, every institution that is under the canopy of the nation Nigeria. The Constitution is the ground norm, the beginning and the end of all the laws. Every other law take life from the Constitution. And what did the Constitution say? I'm happy that the member representing Eastern South East pointed to it clearly. Section 7 sub 4 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria says the local government area shall be appropriated for by the House of Assembly. And I like the rider he gave, that if we can appropriate for them, we should be able to make them give account. Is that what we are saying here, sir? No. Yes, we can make them give account to us, but have we asked them to give account to us? We have not. So when I pray that in a matter like this, what should be done so that we will not be seen to be casting away every caution and trampling upon the laws of our land. Let us hurry slowly. Let this matter be sent to the committee that is responsible for local government. Let these chairmen be called to account, because suspending them before hearing from them will be tantamount to breaching that eternal law of nature, Audi Natural pattern. Even God gave opportunity to Adam to defend himself when he said, Adam, Adam, where art thou? Let's assume that these chairmen are Adam. Let this house take the position that God took, because we are all made in his image. Let's say, chairmen, chairmen, where art thou? Let's hear from them. And the easiest way to do that, Mr. Speaker, is to refer them to the committee responsible, to ask them, this is the allegation against you. What do you have to say? If they do not give cogent and verifiable position on the matter, Mr. Speaker, these actions that we are taking now can be taken, but doing otherwise will be marching on top of the rights of a man. And that right, Mr. Speaker, sir, is not circumscribed by the fact that you are the weaker person in the contest. Whether the strong or the weak must be protected by our law. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to appeal. This is not the kind of matter that is settled by emotion. Our government have written a letter to us. In the spirit of the practices of this house, Mr. Speaker, I will pray that this matter be referred to an adequate commission. So to that committee, sir, to that extent, sir, I oppose the motion for the suspension of local government chairman.
Mr. Speaker, I want to align myself with member representing EDHA North East Constituency 2, Constituency 1. Mr. Speaker, I'm happy today that some members are now telling us they are esquire after their introduction. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, we are talking of suspension. We are talking of gross misconduct. We are not talking of dissolving the council. Because if truly what some of our members are saying here, we should call them for fair hearing. Are they going to be a judge in their own case? You can't be a judge in your own case.
Why?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, if we listen very well to member representing EDHA Northeast Constituency 1, all what he talked about back with the Constitution, and he spoke about suspension. And this suspension is within before 2 months. He never said, let's dissolve the council totally, let go. It's because the Constitution also gave provision for fair hearing. Within this time, the chairman and the vice chairman can come up with whatever it is, the necessary advice should be given to Mr. Speaker, sir, what I'm saying is the solution to go, the way to go, because every member wants to speak on this. This suspension, I'm standing to support it, because this suspension will also give the chairman and vice chairman opportunity to come and speak, also to hear their view. Mr. Speaker, I want to say this thing. We are not talking about court injunction. We've had issues here. How many times have we obeyed court injunction here? Which one is court injunction? To stop us from doing our work? The court injunction is to stop us from doing our work. I see a lot of foul plays, a lot of speeches here, Mr. Speaker. Because we are having an issue that is being read now, we are following the court injunction. Not
I just want us to be sincere with ourselves. We've not seen contribution, other members, contribution to if it's supposed to be with it. I don't know where other members are getting contribution. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, some today lawyers, they are not telling us about contribution, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we've not seen contribution. We are dealing with the report, the message from Mr. Governor. Mr. Speaker, this message, we have a lot of fights, we have a lot of work to do. This matter should be attended to as soon as possible. I align myself with the first speaker, member representing EDHA Northeast. EDHA Northeast one that the local government chairman and the vice chairman stand suspended.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes, I was there.
My name is Honorable Osamui Iwagoita, member representing the good people of Orion East. Mr. Speaker, once again, thank you for this opportunity. I stand right now, Mr. Speaker, to align with my brother from EDHA Northeast 1. Mr. Speaker, I don't want to board this house with too much questions and too much debate. I think most of our members, they have said and they have spoken, and I align with those ones that have like mind with the good people of Edo State. Mr. Speaker, suspension is not sack. Suspension is not sack. At least we have suspended some members here before and they were called back. So it's not a new thing, it's not something they should be panicked of. They will go home and come back by the grace of God. So Mr. Speaker, I want you to use your good office to make sure that the good thing all of us have sworn for Edo people, transparency and good governance, to take place in this 8th assembly. So Mr. Speaker, I, Honorable Atuko Samoyi, stand with this motion. Mr. Speaker, I repeat, you should use your good office to make sure that Edo people are happy. God bless you, Mr. Speaker.
Don't be about the deputy majority leader of the House like that. Mr. Speaker, it's quite sad that our local government chairman have disappointed the executive governor. But I do not understand till now how we have just jumped to suspension. It's actually very confusing. How as lawmakers and legislators, we get a letter from the governor that states we should look into the matter, and then we have a committee set up for that matter. That is not dissolved, that is function. And then people are just coming up to move motion for suspension. The governor did not ask for that, he didn't ask for criminality. And then, with all due respect, and please cover me with the good grace of your reign, I don't think any member should cajole Mr. Speaker into using his red chair wrongly. You don't do that. Sorry, please, can I continue, sir?
Why?
Thank you so much.
Please order.
I do not understand how we... Okay, so 18 vice chairman, gross misconduct, miscoordination, or what you want. The vice chairman, same thing? It's my question. Okay, then fine. We have a local government and chieftaincy affairs committee with a functionary chairman and all the members present here seated in this other chance. So, Mr. Speaker, I beg you to use your good office to do the right thing like I've always done. And let's actually do what the governor wants. Let's look into the matter. You can't just get a letter from His Excellency, he reads it, he says, look into the matter. You just jump to suspend. What are you suspending? On what grounds? What do you know? What information do you have? None of it. So please, I do beg you, sir, please use your beautiful great chair to step down the matter for 24 hours for better reconciliation. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
My name is I represent the people of the South Central. Mr. Speaker, very actually, the speakers have discussed this matter here. Both those who are in support and those who are not in support. I have also listened to everyone. Mr. Speaker, I am here on the faith to give my own support and also to second again and again my many friends representing EDHA Northeast. One, Mr. Speaker, this is not a do or die issue. I believe that this is the first letter coming from the office of the government. Directly signed by him. Mr. Speaker, letters upon letters, request upon request, have been sent to these House chambers in the past. We all treated them with a seamlessly argument. What is this argument all about? The thing is, according to one of the speakers, said that suspension is not a sign. That is circumstance. In this case, they have come to these chambers to tell Nigerians that yes, the local government chairman of Nigeria State should go on suspension. Our case is being brought under the local government law, and the session is here. This is what we are talking about. This is what we are talking about. So, no, and sir, suspending these fellows, the local government chairman, from their office, is to enable the House to do total justice. Is to enable the House to also do fair hearing. Is to make sure that democracy remains thriving. This is the reason why we are saying they cannot be in the office while they are being investigated. Mr. Speaker, nobody has asked anybody to come and be shot. Any local government chairman here. We are only asking for them to go on suspension. That is it. For 2 months. And I believe, just like how it was stated here, 1 or 2, 3 have been asked to go on suspension in this house. I think they are here in this office. They never die. Can you raise up your hands, please? And Mr. Speaker, no, I'm not sure. Mr. Speaker.
Are you the speaker?
Mr. Speaker, sir. I also want to let you know, when there is a perceived situation that will be likely threatened the 4 walls of our democracy, the governor has the right to protect the state. And how can he do that? He's asking us for something. We are not the executive. Both the chairman, and the state concerned. They are the executive arm. So we should not gather into this business and try to play politics with it. It is our responsibility. So my own is going forward today, Mr. Speaker, as I'm making my submission to support this motion. I want the whole world to know that it is not
What tradition? Is there a Roman tradition?
Yes,
No one has seen
it's not about invitation, please.
Why?
Invitation will definitely happen in this case. We don't want to invite a local government chairman to start talking to our government and as if one day. Okay, Mr. Speaker. Listen to me, please. This Mr. Speaker, please.
Why?
Protect me from all this. This issue, I am here standing talking to you today. I was among those that were duly elected in this state, 2019. I have 10 of them in my government. But the governor of the state, as at then, did not follow the rule of law. I don't know any other person. Why they will say, I'm still talking. Mr. Speaker, where was the rule of law? Even when the National Assembly came down the state and gave a resolution, where was the rule of law? Then now we are talking about decent submission on how to handle matter. So we won't play politics on this. This is a decent situation, the process.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
My name is Honorable K.C. Unoman Osamui. I proudly represent the good people of one constituency. Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, I'm not against the letter that was sent by Mr. Governor, but in the words of my brother from Akoko Edo too, who always say we should hurry slowly. So for me, Mr. Speaker, we still have time. This is just past 2 o'clock. I want to appeal to this House that we should go on short recess, meet at the executive session, take a position, and reconvene back to the floor of the House and take a fair position in this matter.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Speaker, my name is Ugabi Kingsley. I represent the blessed people of the Zakoi State constituency. Mr. Speaker, I have the mandate of my constituency, the mandate of all the people from Issaquah East to support the submission made by my brother from Esan Northeast 1, who in simple terms, Mr. Speaker, rose up in this floor and just said, following the letter read, because I've heard my colleagues talk about dissolution or dissolving the council. If following the letter that was read and the section that was referred to by the governor was even jettisoned, and our colleague, honorable member representing Esan Northeast 1, gave us another window that we should look at section 20 of that same law that we made. Remember, Mr. Speaker, that the local government is not a creation of itself. But even at that, he was able to point to us that suspending this chairman and going on with an investigation is the way to go. So, Mr. Speaker, if the governor feels, as the chief executive officer of this state, feels that he has received several petitions, he has received several complaints from our local government people, and it's told to say, dissolve this council chairman. And we as a house, we've been able to come together to feel we will not dissolve the house. Let's suspend them and investigate them
I don't think we have done anything wrong. That is just what we, talking in favor of suspension in this house, are standing with. And Mr. Speaker, remember, that motion came from a member representing EDHA Northeast 1, and that motion was seconded. But unfortunately, after those two discussions, the first two speakers, you had to allow even a counter motion. Mr. Speaker, that was wrong. I feel we should point it because maybe you would have listened to all of it. So, Mr. Speaker, I'm standing and I'm still saying that I fully support that motion that says all the 18 local government chairmen and their vice chairmen should go on suspension so that the investigation can take place. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Speaker, my name is Honorable Hussein Mustafa Leki, representing Isako West, Constituency 1. The truth is that our governor has sent a letter to the House. If he was not aggrieved or not too pleased with the actions of the local government chairman and vice, he would not have sent the letter. What these local government chairmen have displayed is misconduct and insubordination. For those simple facts, actions must be taken. It's not personal, but the governor is the highest authority in the state, and he must be obeyed. If you are requested to bring documents within 48 hours, and you don't bring those documents, something must happen. It has been over a week now. These documents have not been given to His Excellency. So this is pure misconduct. Therefore, I want to align myself with the suspension of the chairman and the vice chairman. In section 20B, it states if the governor is not satisfied, or if he's satisfied with information given to him, which I believe he's satisfied, that's why he sent a letter. Petitions have come since last week regarding the council chairman. Therefore, he has reasons to send us a letter why we should look into this issue. In the letter, he asked us to even dissolve, which was section 10. We have looked into it and changed it. We're following section 20B, which is suspension. I think it's fair enough. We will suspend them, and then we will investigate the way forward. So please, Mr. Speaker, I want you to follow His Excellency on showing action towards suspending this chairman and vice chairman. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, and colleagues, I think some persons are trying to confuse us the difference between suspension and resolution. To suspend is to give you another chance to come back. If after investigation you are found not guilty. To dissolve is to send you home without any opportunity to come back. Whether it is suspension or dissolution, it's both constitutional. The Constitution provides for dissolution. The Constitution also provides for what? Suspension. So there's no violation of the Constitution if you go either ways. But what we see now is a decision to allow the local government chairman a chance to explain themselves when they are investigated. If they are found guilty, of course, we know what the result is. If they are found not guilty in their investigation, maybe they have a chance to come back to their seats. So I don't see any violation of the Constitution here. I believe
what we are doing here as legislators is to ensure that we follow the Constitution and the law. Therefore, supporting or speaking for suspension, there's nothing wrong with that. Speaking for dissolution is both constitutional. But the House, in His grace, have decided, because the governor didn't give instruction, let's say, no. He said, look into the matter. And that is exactly what we are doing. In looking into the matter, we decide whether it's suspension or it's not going to be what? Suspension. And if the majority says they should go on suspension, I think that's all we should stand for. And I stand, Mr. Speaker, to support the motion, ably moved by my brother from EDHA, Northeast 1, that the local government chairman, 18 of them, can proceed on suspension. Their matters investigated, and if any of them found not guilty, can also come back. This is as simple as that. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, we are also I'm really short of words because I don't know why we are going back and forth. We spent over 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours in the legislative session, where we all agreed that the local government council chairman and vice chairman to proceed on suspension. So if we agreed in the legislative session, why are we coming here to be debating the next one? So since we have agreed, the majority of us agreed on the paper. Since majority of us agreed, given the legislative session, there is no reason why we should in the legislative arm. So most of us agreed. Yes, some of us did not talk. Majority of us did not talk. We kept quiet, and the majority have their way. So I don't know why we should be here laboring ourselves. So I want to move, Mr. Speaker, that since majority of us agreed with the legislation that the chairman and the vice chairman and the vice chairman should proceed on suspension, so be it. So I second the motion moved by the member representing the Senate East 1. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
I would say we are already in a dicey situation. I just want to add to what the member representing who happens to be the chief. When this letter came to the House this morning, it was read before all members and the executive session. And the member representing the Northeast 1 brought another dimension. And he said, and I quote, that the issue of resolution should not be the best approach at this time. And X, the chairman and the vice chairman should be suspended. As at that time, I thought most of us would have, at that time, just say, okay, we don't agree, we agree. But I'm so shocked, say dismay, that most of us here will take what it's very bad. Most people, most persons in the executive session already agreed that since it's a suspension, let me tell you something. Some persons decided to come in just because they don't want to be counted as those that agree or do not agree. You understand? So, this is a simple matter. It's a simple issue. The chairman and the vice chairman, they are also our person.
if this decision is being taken today by the majority, it's not left for the House to also find a lasting solution to see how this chairman and vice chairman can be suspended, protected, and be brought back to their various offices.
So are you for?
I am for. Obviously.
Distinguished honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Sadolo Andrew Edobo Zana, representing very good people of their notice to constituency. I intentionally waited this long to talk because there's a need to apply wisdom and maturity to this issue. I strongly believe that correspondence from His Excellency ought to be taken very seriously and not to be played with politics. Yes, my colleague and brother Orion Otu spoke well about that. This letter was read to us at the executive section and we debated on it. However, my twin brother, Majority Leader, is of the opinion that there is a need for the Committee on Local Government to look into this matter. And I would expect that that same committee will recommend to the House suspension of the 18 local government council chairman and the vice chairman. But we have not done such yet. For me, I think we are preempting the outcome of the House Committee on Local Government. I think, and I want to suggest that there's a need for the committee to look into this matter. I'm talking about the Standing Committee on Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs and make recommendations to the House.
Are you supporting or you are against?
No, I'm not supporting or against. I think I exercise the right to my opinion.
True.
I think no constituency in the House of Assembly is subordinate to the other. I have my opinion, I must speak on behalf of my constituents. I've only proffered my opinion to take the letter of His Excellency very seriously and not to play politics with it. So if the governor is saying, look into this matter, it's incumbent on the House to look into this matter. And in my opinion, I think that the House Standing Committee on Local Government and Chieftaincy ought to be given the opportunity to look into the matter and recommend to the House, without due respect to Mr. Speaker, recommend to the House for suspension.
After the various comments, the Speaker, Right Honourable Blessing Sheriff Agbebaku, will call for head count of the members for or against the motion. After the count, the majority of the Assembly members support the Governor's request, with 14 out of 24 members voting for the suspension, 6 members vote against the suspension, while 3 members urge the House to refer the matter to the House Committee on Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs.
All members of this House have first where the executive session today, where this matter was deliberated. And some of us also kept quiet to talk. I'm shocked now that you came into this chairman and you threatened. So what you said here, if you have said it there, that's a shock. Maybe you do before. Now, the House of 24 members, if I put myself as a 23. If you go by way of people that spoke to support this letter. If you counts here. That's why I was taking attendance to know those that spoke for and that spoke against. Those that spoke for, one, please permit me to mention and stress. Please. Member representing EDHA Northeast 1 spoke in favor of this letter. Member representing Ovia Southwest spoke for. That's 2. Member representing EDHA East spoke in support. That's 3. Member representing Oriole spoke in favor of this letter. That is 4. Member representing Orego West spoke in favor of this letter. Member representing EDHA West spoke in favor of this letter. Member representing Akoko Edo 1 spoke in favor of this letter. Member representing Oriole 1 spoke in favor of this letter. Member representing EDHA West spoke in favor of this letter. Member representing EDHA South East spoke in favor of this letter. Member representing Ogma East spoke in favor of this letter. Member representing Akoko Edo 2 spoke in favor of this letter. Member representing EDHA Central spoke in favor of this letter. Member representing EDHA East spoke in favor of this letter. Member representing Ovia Northeast, his opinion is that should be taken to an executive session. Okay. He said it should be given to a committee to look at. The same thing will not be repeating how there. Member that are against this letter, members of their Northeast 1 is in the letter. Obaga against the letter. EDHA Northeast 2 against the letter. Women against the letter. Orego East is against the letter and Ego. So when you do your calculation, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 spoke in favor of this letter, while 6 members spoke against this letter. Among these 15, the members who spoke against the letter, there are more than 5. So, by this calculation here, I think the people that spoke in favor of this letter, they have to be. So, we're in the whole risk here. So, I'll get back to the question, even though we have registered them down. If you are in support of this, please start on this. Sorry, please start on this. Yes, please start on this. If you are in support, is one, as seconded by felt that the mentality that belong to this house seeking us to suspend the government chairman for them to be able to do their investigation on their books should be adhered to. They say consequently, this house do now suspend the government chair, chairman, and advice. I'm just president officer.
For another order, Mr. Speaker come announce to the House say the Governor, Senator Monday Okpebholo, go join the House for Christmas carol on 18 December 2024 and come also notify the House say them go on break for the festive period on Monday, December 23, 2024.
Please, the Governor will join us here for Christmas carol tomorrow by 8:30 and Governor the first pass Christmas carol. Please, members who are not visiting, those who are by 8:30 a.m. tomorrow, Christmas carol is usual. So thank you very much.
Madam Chair, a motion to extend the business calendar for second quarter second session of the EDHA Assembly from 20th December to 23rd December 2024.
In this charity in Kodala, I represent the very sagacious people of that constituency, and by God's grace, the majority leader of this house. Mr. Speaker, some time ago, this house agreed for the calendar for the second quarter of the calendar for the second quarter will end on the 19th of December 2024. But in the face of reality, in looking at the volume of work that is before us, especially concerning the business of passing the 2025 appropriation bill and other matters related to it, has become pertinent to extend the calendar to accommodate these very important issues. And to that extent, we hereby propose for the extension of the second quarter of the second session calendar to the 23rd, Monday the 23rd of December 2024. I so therefore move.
Speaker, I'd like to second the motion moved by the majority associate.
Britain should now proceed to Monday to 3rd December. For the agreement, please say aye. Those against say nay. Ayes have it. Consequently, this house will break the 3rd of December.
Make una not forget say, as we see am, na so we dey talk am. We know the take blame. From Edo State House of Assembly, Ekata Ojesoli, TMC TV News.